Resident Evil 1 just got a massive remaster. I mean, out of nowhere. We're looking at a complete visual overhaul for the game that started it all. And you might say, wait, didn't we already get a remaster? You'll be right. We got the HD remaster back in 2015. But this is different. This is a massive fan-driven injection of 4K fidelity that drags the 2002 classic kicking and screaming into 2026. I know the headline sounds like Capcom finally woke up and decided to bless us, but hold your horses. This isn't official. This is the community doing what the community does best, fixing things, breaking things, and making old games look absolutely wild on modern hardware. So, is it worth your time? Is it a match made in heaven or a total disaster? Well, today we're gonna find out. Now, a little context on why this matters right now. The original Resident Evil Remake, the one released on GameCube in 2002, is often called the perfect remake. It kept the fixed camera angles, the tank controls, and it just made everything scarier. But let's be real, it's been over 20 years. Even the 2015 HD port is starting to show its age. Textures are muddy, backgrounds can look flat on a 4K monitor, and the lighting is just old. Enter the modding scene. Just the other day, a creator named Evgen Shaikh dropped a bomb on Nexus Mods. It's a full 4K texture pack combined with a reshade that touches every single asset in the Spencer Mansion. We're talking menus, character models, and every single background. I mean, the ambition here is huge. They didn't just run it through an AI upscaler and call it a day, though there is definitely some AI heavy lifting going on here. They hand-updated assets to make sure the fidelity actually holds up. When you look at the footage, it's honestly slack-jawed territory. The Spencer Mansion has never looked this crisp. You can see the wood grain on the doors. You can see the stitching on Jill's uniform. It's the kind of detail that makes you want to stop playing and just stare at the walls. But here's the curveball. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. There is a catch, and it's a big one for the purists out there. This mod doesn't just sharpen the image, it changes the atmosphere. The creator added a significant color grading pass that shifts the tone. A lot of people are pointing out that Jill's outfit looks greenish now. The whole game has this Matrix-like filter that completely changes the vibe, and that's where the total disaster argument comes in for some of you. The original game relied heavily on its grimy, dusty, dark aesthetic to sell the horror. When you start messing with the color palette, you risk losing that specific flavor of fear. It's a risky move. Thankfully, if you're like me and you want the pixels but not the green tint, you can tweak it. You can install the texture pack without the reshade, or mix and match it with other mods. So you have options. But out of the box, it's a bold, controversial choice. Now, why are we even talking about a texture mod for a 24-year-old game? Because we are hungry, folks. I know. We just got the big Resident Evil 9 drop. And look, it's a great game. But let's be honest with ourselves. It's not this. It's not the Spencer Mansion. It's not that tight, claustrophobic survival horror that makes you afraid to open a door. We got the remakes for 2, 3, and the masterpiece that was 4. And now, even with the new game out, we are still sitting here in 2026 waiting for Capcom to make the obvious move. Where is the RE Engine remake of Resident Evil 1? I mean, it feels like the most obvious slam dunk in gaming history. Imagine the Spencer Mansion with the over-the-shoulder camera, fully 3D environments, no door loading screens, and the gore system from RE2 Remake. It would be terrifying. And yet, Capcom is quiet on that front. This silence is exactly why projects like this texture pack and others are blowing up. You've probably seen the Team Arclay videos, right? That's another fan group working on a remake in Unreal Engine 5. They released a showcase video that looks better than most AAA games coming out today. They rebuilt the main hall, the dining room, the library, all of it in Unreal Engine 5 with lumen lighting. It looks photorealistic. I remember watching the trailer and thinking, this is it. This is what we need. But here's the heartbreaking part. It's just a fan showcase, not a full game we can play. Team Arclay has clarified they're not releasing it because, well, Capcom's lawyers are terrifying. They're basically creating a what-if scenario to show us what's possible. So we're stuck in this weird limbo. We have the perfect 2002 remake that is aging, and we have these incredible fan projects teasing us with next-gen visuals, but no official game to tie it all together. And you know as well as anybody that rumors are flying. There have been whispers, huge grains of salt here, that Capcom is working on another Resident Evil 1 remake for release maybe later this year or 2027. Some insiders are claiming it's coming to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the franchise. 1996 to 2026. The math works perfectly. It would make total sense. But other rumors say Capcom is prioritizing Resident Evil 5 Remake or Code Veronica. Can we talk about Code Veronica for a second? That game needs a remake more than RE1. It hasn't aged well at all. But RE1 is the moneymaker. It's the icon. If the rumors of a late 2026 announcement are true, this fan mod might be the appetizer before the main course. But if they're not, this might be the best way to play Resident Evil for the next few years. And that's the reality of being a Resident Evil fan right now. We're eating good with the new releases, but we always want that specific nostalgia hit. Let's talk about the technical side of this fan remaster again, because it actually highlights something interesting about game preservation. The modder Evgenshike used AI tools to upscale the background. A few years ago, AI upscaling was rough. It made everything look like oil paintings or melted wax. You guys remember the GTA Trilogy disaster, right? Yeah, but the tech has gotten so much better. This mod proves that you can actually use AI to preserve these old pre-rendered games without destroying the art style, if you do it right. And if you do it right is the key phrase. The fact that they went in and hand-edited the assets shows that AI isn't a magic button. You still need an artist's eye. You need someone to say, hey, that zombie looks like a blob, let me fix it. It makes me wonder if Capcom is watching this. They have to be, right? They see the download numbers on Nexus Mods. They see the YouTube views on the Unreal Engine 5 showcases. They know the demand is there, but maybe they're scared. Remaking Resident Evil 1 again is a risk. You risk alienating the purists who think the 2002 version is untouchable. You risk messing up the pacing by removing the fixed cameras. Part of the fear in RE1 was not seeing what was around the corner. If you give the player a free camera, you change the fundamental design of the mansion. Can they make the Spencer Mansion scary in third person? RE2 Remake proved they can make a police station scary. So yeah, I think they can. But it's a different kind of scary. It's action horror, not dread horror. And that brings me back to this mod. This mod preserves the dread. It keeps the tank controls. It keeps the fixed angles. It just makes it look like it belongs on a PS5. In a way, it's the best of both worlds. You get the classic gameplay that defines the genre, but you don't have to squint at 480p background stretched to 4K. I also want to touch on the other big 2026 news for Resident Evil, because it's all connected. We have the live-action movie coming in September, and we have that CGI fan film hitting in March. The franchise is firing on all cylinders, but gaming is the core. If you're a PC player, I highly recommend grabbing this texture pack. Even with the green tint controversy, it's a fresh way to experience a classic. And if you really hate the green, just grab the texture files and skip the reshade. It's modular. But for the console players, you guys are out of luck, and that sucks. This is why we need an official release. Console players are stuck with the 2015 version, which is fine, but it's not this. I really do think we're on the verge of an announcement. Maybe at the next State of Play, maybe at the summer showcases. Capcom has been too quiet about the next remake. They know we want to see Jill and Chris in the mansion again with modern tech. Until then, this fan overhaul is the closest we're gonna get. It's a labor of love, and it shows. It's not perfect. The color grading is questionable, the AI artifacts are there if you look for them, but the ambition is massive. It's a reminder that this community doesn't wait for permission. If the developers won't do it, the fans will. And sometimes they do it better. I'm curious where you guys stand on this. Are you a purist? Do you think the 2002 remake should be left alone? Or are you desperate for an RE Engine remake with over-the-shoulder gameplay? And what about the green tint? Does it ruin the vibe, or does it add a new layer of creepiness? I want to know what you think. Drop a comment below. Seriously, let's argue about fixed camera angles. I read every single comment, and I know you guys have strong opinions on this. Make sure you're subscribed, because if Capcom does announce Resident Evil 1 Remake, you know I'm going to be covering it day one. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys soon.